Good day, everyone. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Irsan. In this research activity, I'm the head of the research team and will be presenting our research material. Our research material title is Mapping of Potential Business Zones for MSMEs in South Kembangan using the analytical hierarchy process method. First of all, as background, there are several points that underline this research. As follows, the large number of micro, small, and medium enterprises (MSMEs) in Indonesia certainly leads to a high level of competition. In a tight competitive environment, each MSME player needs to take appropriate steps to ensure that their business can provide maximum profits. A classic problem often encountered in running a business is related to location determination, as location directly impacts business income. Therefore, the research problem formulated as below. 1. How to determine the location of MSMEs in Kembangan Selatan, and 2. What are the potential business zones for MSMEs in Kembangan Selatan? The research method is carried out in several stages. Stage 1 involves survey and proposal, and then stage 2 involves data collection, and analysis, and stage 3 involves reporting and publication. This research is a continuation of several training activities that have been conducted. We have partners that participate directly and actively, especially helping to provide supporting research facilities in the form of meeting place and equipment. In addition, the partner also becomes a source of various data and or information related to MSME actors around Kembangan Selatan. Our theoretical foundation on this research is analytical hierarchy process. What is analytical hierarchy process? The analytical hierarchy process was first introduced by Thomas L. Satie. It is a way to achieve goals through a weighting method with mathematical calculation on criteria and or problem specters arranged in a structured and systematic hierarchical form. From the results of the analysis process, a method for assessing an action relative to the comparison of the weight of importance among factors with the comparison of several other alternatives. The flow of the process is as follows. 1. Determine the objectives. 2. Determine the criteria. And 3. Design the hierarchy. And 4. Perform pairwise comparison. And 5. Calculate the criteria weights. And 6. Check the consistency. And 7. Aggregate the criteria values. Research results refer to the flow of the AHP process. Start with determine objectives. The main objectives of this research is to find potential business zones. The next, determine criteria. Based on the zoning map from the overlay result, with consideration to facilitate a series of dynamic research in the sense of further research needs, clusters that can change and or be modified are created. Thus, the Kembangan Selatan area is divided into 3 clusters that are visually estimated to have approximately the same area size. The 3 clusters are based on the existing zoning, visually represented in the percentage of the zones it possesses: office, residential, school, recreation, infrastructure, which can also be seen from the coloring of the area on the map. The percentage of zones in the 3 clusters is as follows. Cluster 1, 35% residential, 35% office, 10% school, 10% recreation, 10% infrastructure. Cluster 2, 25% residential, 60% office, 5% school, 5% recreation, 5% infrastructure. Cluster 3, 75% residential, 10% office, 5% school, 5% recreation, 5% infrastructure. The next following process is design hierarchy. Is depicted as in the following graph, with the objective at the very top as something to be achieved, followed by criteria consists of office, residential, school, recreation, infrastructure, and then at the bottom, followed by the zones or cluster, cluster 1, cluster 2, and then cluster 3. For next process, pairwise comparison, the primary data and information collected are then converted as input for pairwise comparison as in the following table. After that, the result of the pairwise comparison are the basis for weighting the criteria as in the following table, especially to find priority value and then eigenvalue. The next, to ensure that the comparison process and weighting process of the values are valid so that they can be used, it is necessary to check consistency of the value as follows. Calculating the consistency index equal to total eigenvalue minus number of criteria divided by number of criteria minus 1 equal to 5.4 minus 5 divided 5 minus 1 equal to 0.44 divided by 4 equal to 0.11. And then determining the random index for 5 criteria refers to the random consistency index that have been given equal to 1.12. And then calculating the consistency ratio with formula CR equal to CI divided by RI equal to 0.11 divided by 1.12 equal to 0.0986 and 0.0986 less than 0.1. That means comparison and weighting is valid. Therefore, the priority value can be used. Once it is confirmed that the priority value can be used, this value is the basis for calculating the aggregate criteria values as the final value as the following picture. And so lead us to the conclusion. From this research, it is concluded that one, determining the location of MSMEs in Kembangan Selatan can use the analytical hierarchy process to facilitate the determination and decision-making of potential business location. And two, the potential business zones for MSMEs in Kembangan Selatan based on the clustering created this time are cluster 3 as the most potential with a total score of 0.43, cluster 1 neutral with a total score of 0.28, and cluster 2 less potential with a total score of 0.27. Thank you.